Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how you can make a guitar fingering chart for any tuning, really. So all you have to do is you have to know your alphabet. In your musical alphabet, right, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It starts on A and ends on G. After G, it goes back to A. In between each of these notes, you have A sharp, which is just a little bit higher than A, half a step higher than A. And this is also known as B flat. So the flat means it's lower and the sharp means it's higher. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we're actually going higher and this is lower. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So we could do this for each of these. The only thing you have to know is that there's no such thing as a B sharp or a C flat. And there's no such thing as an E sharp or an F flat. Those don't exist. So there's C sharp, D flat, there's D sharp, E flat, and there's F sharp and G flat. It's really easy to visualize this when you take a look at a piano. So looking at the graphic of the piano, you can clearly see that there's no black key between E and F, and between B and C, there is no black key either. So there is no B sharp and there's no E sharp. The rest there are. So visualizing this with the piano keys is very helpful. All right, so as long as we know this information and what I showed you on the piano keys, then we can create our fingering chart for any tuning. So let's say we have 6 strings, okay, on our guitar. So this is going to be a 6-string guitar, so I'm going to make my 6 strings, and I'm going to try to be very careful with them. So here they go. I'm just using a piece of paper as my straight edge to make 6 very straight strings. Now, I'm not going to use the normal E standard tuning. I'm actually going to use, just for this example, a less common tuning called Opengtuning. So our first string is when it's open, meaning when you're not pushing down on any of the frets. That first string is a G, and this is the lowest string. Okay, so we're going to say these are our low strings, and these are our high strings. And these strings have numbers. I'm going to put the numbers over here. This is our 6th string, and this is our 1st string. So the 1st string is the highest string, and the 6th string is the lowest string. And let's just fill that in. Great, so we have our string numbers, and on this side I'm going to put the string letters. When they're open, they are G, B, D. So we have G, B, D, and then it just repeats itself again. G, B, D. So now after that we actually have frets. So the fret is going to be the metal. So when we have, let's say that this is like that first metal piece, and then above that there's really nothing. Above that there's just tuning pegs. So this is going to be our 1st fret, and I want to leave enough room. So let's say we have 1 fret. These are the metal bars. So I'm laying this out as if you had the guitar on your lap and you were looking down on it. Does that make sense? So this is nothing. So this is our 1st fret. So I'm going to put a 1 right there. That's our 1st fret. This is our 2nd fret and our 3rd fret. So the fret is the space between the metal bars. So I would put my finger here in this space between the metal bars. All right, that's why the fret number is in the center. So let's keep going. So this is going to be our 5th fret. Now sometimes you'll see like a little dot on the guitar that's showing you where the 5th fret is. So sometimes there'll be a dot on the 5th fret. And there'll also be a dot on the 7th fret a lot of times too. Just depends on your guitar. So let's do this. So we have 6, 7, and now I'm just going to make sure I have room for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Really squished at the end there, all right? So I'm just going to finish drawing those frets, just making sure that I actually have room for 12 frets. 9, could have made 9 a little smaller. But I just wanted to show you how to actually do this on paper, because it's really useful to be able to draw one of these up for any tuning. Okay. So yes, our frets are very small, but we did fit all 12 of them. And so after 12 half steps, each of the frets are half steps. So they're going to go up like the piano keys. Those are half steps. So let's go ahead and fill in our fingering chart. So remembering my alphabet, all right, if you need a cheat sheet, there it is. There's your cheat sheet, okay? So what is higher than G? We're always going to be going higher in this direction, right? So this is low to high in this direction, but in this direction, it goes from low to high in this direction, all right? So we go from low to high that way and from low to high this way. So this is our lowest. So higher than that is a half step, goes to G sharp, all right? So we also have G sharp, A flat, by the way, connecting those. So we have right here, if you were to put your finger on the G string, if you were to put your finger here on that string, on that fret, you would be playing right here a G sharp or an A flat. Okay, so let's just keep going up. I'm going to be quick about it because you can reference your sheet if you get lost. So after G sharp comes A. Then A sharp. Move this guy out of the way. Then B. And there's no B sharp, so that goes to a C. C sharp comes next. Then D. B, C, D sharp. And then E. And now there's no E sharp, so it goes to F, F sharp, and if we did it correct, we're going to land back where we started, on G. So 12 repeats itself. There's 12 half steps in an octave. An octave goes from G to G. So we can fill in our flats too. So if we go backwards, right, this is G. What's lower than G is G flat. All right. And now there's no such thing as an F flat. We're going to skip that. There is such thing as an E flat. D sharp is the same thing as an E flat. Okay, and then this is just a D, C sharp, D flat. It's the same thing. So only the sharps and the flats have two different names. This is a C. This is just a C. So we're going to skip. There's no C flat. There's no B sharp, so we're just going to keep going. Now this A sharp is the same thing as a B flat. And so there you go. So you have filled in your first string. Okay, so we can keep doing the other strings. Now lucky for us, these strings repeat themselves because GBD, GBD. So these three, once we finish these three, then we'll be done with these three also because it's just the same fingerings. So if I were to put my finger on the B string, so if I put my finger on the B string right there, on the first fret, right, so this is my fret. So these are my strings, string names. So I'm just going to say strings are there and frets are there. Strings and frets. So we're going to say from B goes to C. I'm going to fill it in really quickly. D. D sharp. E. No such thing as an E sharp. F. F sharp. G. G sharp. A. A sharp. B. 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 Perfect. Let's go and fill in. Wherever we see a sharp, we're going to fill in a flat. So this is B, what's lower? B flat. This is G sharp, A, what's lower than A? A flat. This will be a G flat, 1/2 step lower than G. This is an E flat, and this is a D flat. So see, I'm just taking this, putting it here, and putting a flat. So whatever is higher by a 1/2 step, it goes there, down there, and it's a flat. So see how quickly once you get started? So let's just do the first one as fast as we can. So D is open, D sharp, A, B, C, D, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. We made it. D, D. All right. So now we're going to go backwards. D flat, B flat, A flat, G flat, E flat. All right. So there it is. And then you can just repeat the strings. But there is your fingering chart for open G tuning. It's more common in slide guitars. And now you can even start to see your chords, right? So G, B, D is the G chord. So this is do, mi, so, do, mi, so. So then this is your A chord here on the 2nd fret. This is an A chord. And you can see A, C sharp, E are the 3 notes in the A chord. So this bottom string is going to be your root for all of your chords. That's your do. All right, you can do your B chord also, B, D sharp, F sharp. Those are your 3 notes in your B chord. C chord, C, E, G. And then your D chord is D, F sharp, A. So for guitar players, this is a really useful way to start to know what notes actually make up a chord. So the name of the chord is going to be whatever is here on your low G string, on your 6th string. That's whatever note is there is the root of your chord, okay? For this specific tuning. All right, so this is the G right here. I'm going to put a little box around him. Okay, and I'm just going to write root up there. So just to give you the little notes there, those are your strings, that's your root, those are your fret numbers, and there you have it. So I'm going to post this so that it's available for you, and that's it. If this video was helpful for you, go ahead and hit that like button, and while you're down there, you can hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you can be alerted about other videos, newer videos that I make. And go ahead and leave a comment about how this helped you if you'd like, and if you found this content useful. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.